Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Portal. So, tonight we've got a special guest, Mr. Tom Anginetti. He was at Blood in the Water and he did some fantastic drawings. Calibus and I had an opportunity to interview him while we were there, and then I also picked up a few pictures while I was there as well. But we wanted to give everybody an opportunity to, get a chance to have him introduce himself, and then we're going to talk, and I'll show a few pictures of what I picked up. So, Tom, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, um, I'm Tom. Hello. I currently have been going to the con circuit after basically my kids are all adults now, and I um, I started out drawing when I was young and went to the Art Institute after I got out of the Navy in the '90s, and always had aspirations of doing that kind of stuff, but always just did a job that paid the bills essentially. Even though I'm in a creative field, I never really took advantage of putting my stuff out there, and so I started to do that, and I started doing like custom comic book sketch covers. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where you'll have like a comic of, say, Batman, and they'll have a blank cover, and then people ask you to do art on there. And so I started doing those on, what is it, Whatnot, like about, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something like that. And they kind of just word of mouth, I just started getting a lot of requests to do them for people. And so I said, okay, maybe there's something to this as a side gig or something. I really just kind of bored. Like my kids are all out of the house now, and I'm a little bored with myself, to be honest. So I've always enjoyed drawing, and those are fun things to do. So I did that, and it picked up. And then I actually went to an anime con last summer. I want to say the Tidewater. I don't know the official name for it, but basically Sarah Natacheni was going to be there, and she's the voice of Ash from Pokemon, and she was the voice for like 20 years. So I thought it'd be really cool to do a drawing of that character and bring it and get it signed by her. And so I did that, and when I did that, she was very complimentary of my art and the style, and so was her desk mate. And they said I should be setting up at the cons, and I thought they were just being nice, to be honest. And I said, look, I'm like 50 years old. You don't have to be. They're like, no, no, really. So I said, maybe there's something to this. So I ended up looking up, like, literally, I got home that weekend. I looked up cons near me, and the horror con, the Tidewater Horror Con that was last year, was the closest, nearest one. So I emailed the guy. He called me. I think Brian, his name, and who's the organizer. And he said, yeah, we'd love to have you. So, like, really, in like 2 to 3 weeks, I just started drawing horror. And I just did like a trick or treat series for that. Just a bunch of different horror characters, but kind of my spin, and having them like kind of like they're trick or treating at your door. That was like the intent of what I was doing. So I did that, and I did well. Like, it was good. I don't know how you judge those things because I've always been a con attendee. I've never really gone as a presenter or anything like that. So it was really weird in a way, but I also loved it because I felt like you got to have more meaningful interactions with people than I did when I was on the other side, basically as the guest. There's always a little awkwardness, as you walk up. I always wanted people to feel like I'm not trying to reach for your wallet or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. We could just chat, because I was telling my wife after this last one, like, I did a Pokemon show this past week, and the most rewarding, I'm telling you right now, is the kids that come up and want tips on drawing, and the parent will be like, just like I was. They say, so my son or daughter likes to draw. In some instances, multiple children, what can you give them any tips, whatever, stuff like that. So then I give them my Instagram, whatever, and now they message me, send me their art and stuff like that. So it was very intrinsically rewarding. I didn't really expect that. And so the horror con, what happened was I did that. It did well. Like, I don't know how you define well. I mean, I made way more than I thought. I was just hoping to get my money back for the table and like my cost of getting the prints and all that. You know what I mean? But the guy next to me, or two down from me, he was doing all the Pokemon. He was selling all that kind of stuff. And he's the one that told me, hey, there's a Pokemon show next week. I said, well, I only have three Pokemon. I had Ash, Pikachu, and I don't even know one other one. He said, well, you might want to have more than that. So I drew as many as I could in like a week, right? So I went, and man, that was even better. And that was a 1 day show. And I really liked that a lot because the age bracket was younger, and I liked that. I used to have a game store. My kids were young, and we had organized play in the store, and we actually hosted regionals for Pokemon and all that. So I know a lot of people get into it for different reasons, you know, but art being one, of course, was kind of like I gravitated to that. There's a lot of very interesting characters, and the way I draw them is not like you typically would see a Pokemon. You know what I mean? So they're kind of fun to make them too. So basically, I did that, and then I did the Pokemon. I've done a bunch of those, the card shows. I did the horror show. I saw you guys at, and then last week I did Pokemon again. But now what I started getting, which is really just a side, kind of an accidental thing, is commissions. I put up a sign. So now I just finished like Batman. I'm doing one right now that's crazy. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Oh yeah.
but it's like
Yeah,
she
you know
wanted that, but she wanted the people from Labyrinth in it.
Oh,
So like I've got like what's his name? Jarrell the the Goblin King. He's
yeah,
like he's like the main guy in like drag. And there's like it's got Hobble, it's crazy. It's gonna be fun. Like I finished drawing it today. I gotta ink it still. So that's kind of fun, like, and I got some other cool commissions from the Pokemon folks because when people come up, I tell them, because they'll say, do you have this character? Literally, there's thousands, and
yeah,
I have 12, you know? So it's like they come up, I said, well, look, I do commissions, and I try to make it very reasonable. I do them for like $100, and that's reasonable for the amount of time I put into them.
mhm,
Um, and having priced art myself, I find that to be, to me at least. And so a couple people ordered a bunch of them from me because they agreed. And so anyway, that's what I don't know. I accidentally stepped into a second job here. It wasn't really my intent, um, but it's fun. I chill in this very chair. Literally, all my art supplies are around me. I just draw on my recliner. I have a lap board like you would use for your laptop, and I just draw. It's
yeah,
just a fun thing to do that I enjoy.
yeah. And I'll tell you, what caught my attention when we were walking around was when I saw Count Chocula. I was
Thank
like,
you. That's great.
I love that. So then I didn't realize, I got the Pikachu, but the rest of the gang from all of the boxes of cereal, Boo Berry, the Mummy, Frankenberry, and then the tiger. And I couldn't remember the girl and the tiger, but I knew all the other characters because I'm like that was my childhood, with these characters with the cereal. I'm like I loved it. I didn't like the cereal. I liked the box, because I remember
Oh
eating
yeah,
it
yeah.
because cereal sucked. But it got me because I really wanted the character. So that was the one thing I did get, and then of course I bought this for my wife, which is fantastic. She does a cosplay of this, so
Oh really?
yeah, that's why she was excited to have this. She really loved this picture, so this
Oh man.
this is one of my favorites that I got from you. So I
Thank you.
absolutely love that. But oh yeah,
Oh, thank you.
The Boba Fett drawing was great. But I tell you, the best drawing that I saw that you had up there was Ahsoka Tano. That was
Really?
amazing.
Oh, thanks. All right.
That was the best thing that I saw. Every one of your pictures were fantastic. I love the Superman that you did from the cover. I thought that was a great one. And everything else that you showed through the book, there were tons of pictures that I wish I could have picked up, but I got this one. If you look, mainly my room is full of stuff that I collect anyway, so I have a hard time trying to figure out where I'm going to put new things at. So, but next time I definitely want to get something else. probably the Ahsoka Tano. So, the next time I
Cool.
see you. Um, what other shows do you have coming up soon besides, the one you just did last weekend?
I'm doing 757 card show is I want to say it's May 2nd.
Okay.
It's at the sports complex there. I did one before over there.
At the field house.
Um,
Yeah.
I think right across from
The Star
the
Wars.
convention center. And then I'm doing Tidewater Comic Con for the first time
Oh, okay.
because I didn't even know if I get in, to be honest. And but the guy I reached out and because I got an email something to the effect of like almost like when you apply for a job and it's like they don't want you or something. It's like, well, just so you know, we have a lot of applicants this year, like and over. So I'm like, whatever. And then like I don't know, a couple days later they said you're in. I said okay.
Tom, you're going to clean up there because Ahsoka's going to be there. Ben Kenobi's going to be there from the animated, from the Clone Wars.
Oh, I
And
got to draw
Asajj
him then.
Ventress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to clean up there, man. Your artwork. Because I'm looking at Darth Maul, and after watching Darth Maul, it's like, I should have got that Darth Maul.
You know what's so
After
funny
watching
is
that show.
I I started to just draw like I go in these they go through these phases, and the reason there's those Star Wars is because I sat down, I was watching the Clone Wars in preparation to watch the Darth Maul. I actually looked it up to see what episodes I needed to watch,
Yeah.
and I intentionally, but I just sit down and I get in this group. I said I have no Star Wars. How's that possible? And I remember when I did this cosplay con last year. I did that was one of the ones I did is like cosplay world or whatever. The
Mhm.
people right across from me were the 501 something, and
Five oh one.
Yeah.
I had no Star Wars, and I was embarrassed. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I better get to work and try to do. But he mentioned I wanted to tell him real quick the Batgirl. That actually funny story about that is the girl Karen Whitfield. You know that name?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you would know her, but she went around with Adam West and Burt Ward as Batgirl to the conventions in like the 80s.
Yeah.
And she represented Batgirl. And she reached out to me on Instagram and it's like, hey, you want to, partner up? I'll sell them. We'll split the money. I was like, psh, yeah. So I reached out to her because I want to show you guys this one real quick. I just did this one I did this commission this week.
Oh.
Uh, Adam West Batman
Oh,
for
wow.
some I used to do tattoos and the girl used to come in the tattoo shop. And anyway, I did that one. I said to Karen, I'm like, hey, I think I might make one of them running together in a print. You want one? She's like, oh yeah. She said because people will buy more Batman than Batgirl.
Yeah.
So she liked the Batgirl though, and that's so I essentially took a very similar concept, just him running at the screen and gonna put it anyway with that. So I thought that would be kind of fun. Since you brought it up, I thought I'd mention that.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
the serial guys, you're one of the very, I think I told you this when I met you, you're one of the very few people that even knew who they were because you're probably my age. I'm 54 or
Yeah.
close in my ballpark. And I didn't even know about that girl is Caramel or something like this. And the one you're calling a tiger, he's actually a werewolf, but it's called Fruit Brute. But
Okay.
when I drew him, literally all I did was like pause the commercial on YouTube
Okay.
because I didn't even know what he looked like, and I drew him from that. But from the front, he does look like a tiger. Like when you say that, but when you watch the
I can see the
commercial, the only
werewolf.
time you could tell because he howls. He like
Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't even. I remember the core three: Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Booberry.
Those are the
Which,
ones.
by the way, they still sell at Target.
Yeah.
I picked it up, but they changed the formula so you don't have that delicious treat at the end where you drink the milk and you've got this like milkshake type thing going on. But that's kind of funny that you gravitated to that. So I appreciated that. Actually,
Oh, no
you're
worries. And
one of the few.
This one only came out, I think, during what is it, Halloween? Is the only time you
Yeah,
can get the
that's
mummy.
what's his name? Yummy Mummy, right?
Yeah,
Yummy Mummy.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was only a special treat that you can get once a year. And I was like, man, this is fantastic. So I
yeah.
love those pictures.
That's cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's fun that you like those. I like
So,
doing them. I mean, they.
oh yeah, and they were like you were showing. The pricing on them was not bad. Uh, these were $5 a piece for the small ones, $15 for the for her, for Batgirl. So all of the pricing was fantastic. Um, Now you mentioned that you were doing an anime con. Was it? Are you going to be at NecaCon this year? Or
Not NECA. I don't think I was going to do the NECA one. I think I'm going to do. I mean, maybe. I
okay,
I haven't committed. Honestly, I didn't commit because I was going to do. I think was it called Superstar Anime?
I'm not sure.
It was last year. The one I went to where Sarah Natacheni was at, that I met her. That's
Okay,
also at at the Virginia Beach Convention Center.
okay,
So that's the one I had in my mind to do. Um, I mean, I'm open to whatever, you know. This is all kind of new to me, even doing this, but it is fun.
yeah,
So I would like to sample some other ones, and the 757 card show one, that's a good one. That had a good mix of talent there and interest. So you had comic people also, you had sports card people, you had a variety. In fact, one of the originals I saw at the Pokemon show was actually a guy walked up. He was a Mets fan. I'm a Mets fan. I said, "Man, I got one in here. Tidewater Tides, Doc Gooden.
oh
The
wow,
guy was supposed to pick it up for me last week at the HarCon. He never showed up. I said, if you want it, I'll give you the $50.
oh
I
wow,
showed it to him. He's like, I'll take it.
yeah,
So, so it's funny how like it's like a mix.
yeah,
And I try to keep the stuff priced. I appreciate you mentioned like very reasonably
okay,
because I know it honors me that people even want it in the
yeah,
first place. And as long as I'm going to make enough to pay I have that mindset. I'll sell more. You know what I mean? Like, because
yeah,
I know I would drop as a with kids. I had 6 kids. Like, if you give them 10, $20, they walk around. They can get something $5.
true,
So I just felt like that was very reasonable because a lot of the places you go to the cons, like even to Tidewater, I go. A lot of those artists, they're $40 a print.
they are, they are, um,
Yeah,
So
that was one of the things that I appreciated when I saw your work, and then when I saw your commissions because and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but I use AI heavily. But when I go to the conventions, I always try to find one or two artists that I can buy their stuff from. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That I gravitate towards. And like I was telling you when we were there, it's like I've got these two characters. I've just finished my second book that's going to start a series,
Hmm.
and I really don't want to use the AI characters for the book. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I would rather use, somebody a real artist to do that. But, I can't afford. Well, I mean, some of these people they want to charge, $200-300 for an 8x10
Yeah.
character and a headshot. And I'm like, you're really hurting me because I can go to AI for $5 and get this thing done and move on. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I would rather get the real touch of the characters.
Hmm.
So as soon as I finish this con, I'm going to get my commission because I've already got the characters already done. A matter of fact, Marky Mark and a few other people, we have these characters. So I'm going to give you, of course, the AIs and then tell you what I'm looking for, and then let you kind of go loose with them. But I love that about, like I said, about what you were doing. And if I can go ahead and bring this back up, it'll come up in the feed, guys, as you're watching. There'll be a price list that he had put up at the conventions.
yeah,
But you know, and it just happened because I've been watching Darth Maul. I've been watched that thing like 4 times already, and I see that picture behind you. Really captured that Darth Maul.
Oh, thanks,
You
man.
really did, man. I'm looking at that like, man, I should have got that while I was there.
You know what's crazy
That
about Darth Maul? My dad and I, when we went, because he took me. I'm old enough that he took me to the original Star Wars.
right?
We went to go see Phantom Menace the opening night, and we waited in this long line where people were like lightsaber battling in like computer chairs and stuff in the mall. And I finished reading the book, waiting in line for Phantom Menace. And when I was reading that book, if you have not read the book, you should because it's way better than the movie. And
Mm-hmm.
there's this scene, the scene when Darth Maul shows up and then he ends up, I think Ben Kenobi like does like a little flip or something and gets away onto the ship. It's
Yeah,
way more epic in the book. And when that scene rolled up on the screen, I'm like, oh, here we go. And then it was so short, and I was like, oh man.
yeah,
But he was sick though. He was a great character. It's so
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, yeah, for sure. As far as AI, I mean, that's people are all in their feelings about AI because it. I get it. No, I get it. I understand why people are, but I do think in a way it allows people that just have ideas to conceptualize the idea, and make it a reality. I do like the idea of using artists if you can, but not everybody can. I don't think like I think a lot of artists that are insecure, let's say, in their skills or abilities are upset about AI, but AI doesn't really bother me because honestly, I enjoy the process of the creating the art more than the finished product, if that makes sense. Like
yeah,
I enjoy looking at other people's art. Like I've always bought art when I go around, and I'm the same way. I have favorite artists and all that. And when you look at someone else's art as an artist, anyway, you try to like think about how did they even do that. You're like looking at it. Like I have art books all around me that I use to study from, and you do studies sometimes. You actually draw them. And I don't know. It's just a funny thing in our world right now that is out there. Um, it's not going away.
no,
So I think it's good for concepts. It allows people to come up with a concept. But there were some people at that show we were at that were selling AI art. You know,
really.
you know what's funny is the one guy that's in that same show we were in, Lee something. I forget his last name. He was in the other room. I called him out on it on the first show I was at because he had AI cover. And I'm like, dude, man, you can get me. I'm a human. I'll do it for you. And he took it to heart because now he's hosting a show and he wants me to be like, I'm one of a couple, I guess, of guest artists, and he wants me to redo it and stuff. And I said, no, nothing wrong with it, but you're a creative. You're a writer. You're a creative, and you want people to buy. You're creative. I said I could write a book tomorrow. I said and put it on Amazon and on AI.
Yeah,
I said, "What do you think?" He's like, it was like a dagger. So he
yeah,
like so when you, I think in the creative field, like creatives buy from creatives. But
yeah.
I don't fault anybody. If you're exploring your imagination and all those type things, and like the process, even if you wanted to get an artist, say, like I have a guy wants me to do. I was just reading the comic. A friend of mine, they put out a comic, and sometimes the process of getting to the character's look is very exhaustive. And you would have to hire, say you hired me to do like character designs, which I've done before. A lot of times you have to do a lot to bridge the gap between what you're thinking and what I'm thinking. Like,
Exactly.
hey, I want a character wearing jeans with a baggy t-shirt, whatever. I'm like, well, to you, jeans and a baggy t-shirt might be different.
right.
And you go through, because I used to design mascots and stuff, and I remember doing like 4 or 5 iterations before we were even in the ballpark of what they're looking for. So a lot of times I do feel like it may have value there. I think the thing with artists that they're up in arms about, but it's just too late. The cat's out of the bag. I mean, the toothpaste is out of the tube, however you want to say it. Like, is the fact that it's trained on other artists. But really, honestly, AI has always existed. I went to the Art Institute in 94, 95 when I got out of Navy. even then, Photoshop is AI.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just, it literally is AI. Those digital brushes, they're AI.
yeah,
Like all that is AI. It's just a different use. You know, you don't really look at it that way. Like I don't. I think if you polled the average person, they wouldn't define AI as all those things. Like even 3D programs and all that, how it's come along, Unreal. That's all AI is driving all that. It's what's making things that used to take. I would do something in animation school, like I'd have to let it render overnight for like 10 seconds, right? And come down. You can do that like literally in 20 seconds. You know, it's just crazy how the world has
Yeah.
shifted, you know? So I don't know. I'm not going to lie. Once AI like became so prominent, I got as far away from digital as I could. I was like, I'm going back to my roots. And that's why when I set up, I'm like, I am not even setting up anything that anyone can think is some AI. Like, no, you
yeah.
know,
So when you look at your work, you can see the lines, the line work that you're doing, and everything. So you know it's
There you
not
go,
AI.
Mark. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at. Yeah,
oh man,
I love that picture, and that's what I'm
thank
saying.
you.
Yeah, that I wish I gotten that now. I feel like
Oh man, I'll hook up
another
with you. It's
waste
fine.
opportunity right there.
I'll have to get your address. I'll hook you up, man.
Okay. Well, I do have
Because I'm
another.
telling you. Go
I
ahead.
was going to ask, on average, how long did it take you to create at least the drawing for, let's just say, Ahsoka there?
Let's
How
say
long?
Ahsoka took me probably 3 hours total.
Okay,
Maybe not even that. Like I knocked her out pretty easy because, and honestly, I think I just paused the TV. I do that a lot
that's
and
cool.
just draw. Really, once you knock out the drawing, like what I mean by the drawing is like kind of like if you were building a house and you did all the lumber, you
Yeah.
know, you framed it out. Essentially, that's how I view the sketch and the drawing, the pencil work is the drawing. You know, once you knock that out and you have the proportions and everything in good shape and everything, then basically the rest of it is just patience and kind of taking your time, especially the way I've been doing this stuff. Like I usually start in the face to make sure it's decent. And then once the face is good, then I'll move to the upper left and move down to the lower right as I move across.
Okay.
Um, and that's so I don't drag my hand through my ink. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ahsoka, it was a little bit of a mess, the original, because I messed up. Because sometimes I spot the blacks with a brush in the beginning, and I forgot that this one ink I've been using, this deleter ink or something like that, that I started to use, it like takes a long time to dry, and I just ran my hand through it. So to me, that's part of the fun, though. You make a little mess, you white it out, you're like, whatever, you know. I don't know, but usually the drawing is what takes the time. That's why, like this one I'm doing right now with like the Rocky Horror Picture,
Yeah.
and that has I could show you guys if you. I don't think she'll care.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
want me to show you? It's
yeah.
rough now. I'm showing you like this is some behind the curtain type stuff right here, but that's basically it. Can you
Oh,
see it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome now.
So it's like basically she gave me a reference, a group photo of it was like the main cast in their outfits, and then she sent me pictures of who she wanted where, you know. So
Wow.
that's
Gotta love that.
that's the part. I actually emailed her today, and I said, "Look,
Mhm.
I think you're going to like this. I got past the sketch. I like when I get to that point, I know it'll be fine. You know what I mean? But it's getting to
Oh,
that point
definitely.
that I actually transferred that from an absolute messy page
Okay.
because when you do commission, that's the one thing about commissions or sometimes like that kind of thing. I like to use a blue pencil a lot, but a lot of times if it's a commission, I won't do that because I don't want to really see that. You know what I mean on
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
because what I'll do is I'll scan those in, you know, and then I'll clean. There's a way in Photoshop you just go in, you just go to like edit something blue line, and it kind of takes it away.
Yeah.
Or you know, so but that is the only thing. So it's a little different process for me than I like to normally do. So normally to flesh all that out, like I'll just use a blue pencil on a separate sheet, and then you can transfer it over or something like that, to the final one you're going to be working on. But like you see, there's a lot of blank areas there. I'm not even going to draw those in with a pencil. I'll just do that with ink because I know that's fine. But I actually have no joke. Because you guys are older too. I use this now to be able to.
I use that to read. So
I
Right, I
I
know,
swear,
right?
hair, the nose hair. Let me see. Yeah, like swear, I use this thing like Sherlock Holmes because you can't see like good enough on some of that. Um, if I'm trying to get that level of detail, a lot, even the ones that you see in my thing, a lot of them I did use that for because I want the lines like some of those lines they're very carefully spaced out. And I sometimes they bunch together. It's hard not to have them bunch together, but I try for them not to. Especially if it's the face, the eyes, the mouth, like that. I try to be really delicate and careful with that because typically we just all look at that first. It's just natural, you know. But yeah, it's kind of funny though. So I'm giving you the behind the scenes.
on ours.
But
Look,
So, well, go ahead, Calvis.
yeah. Well, I wanted to tell Tom that anytime that you're doing a show, let me know where you're going to be, or let Mark know, and we will blast it out and help promote you, man, while you're doing your shows because you were great for us because you were one of the first people to stop by our table because our table wasn't anything. Um, we were there primarily to do interviews because we were cutting our teeth on what we were doing, right? So the Cosmic
hmm
Portal is just a platform to promote. It's a fandom hub. We're just promoting good things, small businesses that we like and stuff like that. So when we met up with Billy, he was like, "Yeah, come on in. Let's get you set up." And we're just going to push the promotion. So we started Capes and Cases to really kind of push that, right? So I want to help you as much as you're out there. Let me know where you're going to be so we can shout it out and get people out there. I'll even do it while I'm in the toy store. Push you out there, man, because we really enjoyed what you were doing and what you have is awesome. We love your
Thanks, man.
artwork. And I'm
That's
telling
nice
you,
of you.
oh man, I mean, once we find good people, man, that's what we do. And it's one of those things. And there's Rob. Yeah, he's gonna put your thing has a permanent spot. Your picture, your Boba Fett pics have a
Oh,
permanent
nice.
spot
Oh,
at all
okay.
his
Thank
cons.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember Rob. He was at the show, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Rob was
yeah.
the
I
man of
remember
a
talking to
thousand
him. Yeah,
cosplays. He was walking around as his
yeah, yeah,
pirate
yeah,
and his
yeah, yeah.
little
I remember. Yeah.
skeleton hand.
No, I appreciate that. Us creatives got to support each other. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'm going to be honest. It's not even the monetary part for me. It's like, that's fine. I like that and all. It's like, that'll grow, I guess, on its own
Yes.
organically. But I enjoy that, at least for me, because I guess 'cause I have a regular job. I'm the designer for the Navy. So I have a decent job. It's rewarding intrinsically, but just meeting the people and everything is so fun, like going out and that part of it. But like it is not, it's kind of cool. I'm not getting any younger. This
Yeah.
is something as long as I can draw, I can be setting up, chatting with people and it's funny the stuff that happens. Like the show I did, the one of the card shows I did, the guy next to me worked for Marvel and hired me to do the cover to his comic,
Wow.
which I thought was funny. And I have done that. And it hasn't come out yet. It's called Salvaged, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I thought it was cool. I liked it. His concept was cool. So as soon as he told me what his concept was, and what's funny is I quoted him. This is what you'll know. I quoted him a price. He gave me 25% more than I said, and gave it to me then.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
So I knew that he is a professional because he's in the industry, and he's like, "That's too low." That's what he told me. He said, "That's not enough." I
Well,
was like,
that's one
"What?"
of the pictures
I've
that you
never.
showed us too, though, right?
Uh,
That's one of the pictures that you showed where it was three different pictures that you put together for that one.
yeah, I actually have the. the original's still here. I haven't given it to him yet, but
Okay.
I haven't seen him. Hold on, if you want to see it, I'll show you.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, it's
I think you're gonna.
I didn't do my makeup or anything. Hold on, let me see what I got. So this is so these are part of it. So this is the main picture.
Yes. I love that one.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
really like this. Now this is an homage to Frank Frazetta barbarian painting. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty common, But he told me he wanted him to be a minotaur and her to be like a cyborg. And as soon as he told me that, I said, "Well, you could just stop talking. I'll do it." And then and I was trying to be because there's a lot of elements, So he there's like a skull in the background, so I did the skull separately. And then there's like an hourglass involved. And sorry, I'm turning the camera wrong. And there's like a maze that I don't have the maze. I don't even know where that's at, but
Well, I
basically
got
that's.
this for you. Hold on, check this out. There it is.
Oh yeah, yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's it. So he worked on incredible no the Red Hulk for years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he I just thought it was cool. He asked me, it's like, oh, Marvel, okay, that's legit, But
Yeah.
and it wasn't something I anticipated, Um, these are all dream. Like what's funny is when I don't know about you guys if you have kids or not, but when my kids were grown and they're adults and they no longer really needed me for their day to day, and there were a couple are in the Navy, like all this, they're out, all of them are out. I kind of reverted back to what did I enjoy doing before I had kids, because
Right.
when I had kids, everything changes. I
Yes.
freelanced my whole life, but I didn't have the convenience of just being able to do whatever I wanted. I had to always earn, like you got to provide. So then once the kids are out, I'm like, well, what do I like doing? My athletic days are behind me. I play pickleball. I'm sorry, and it's probably embarrassing to admit that, but I do. But and I like to draw. So I'm like, I'm just going to draw. So that's what I started doing. I just started drawing, and then it worked out great because the stuff that people like that they're liking is stuff that I like.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the fact that he liked the cereal mascots is like, well, all right. It's like my you're speaking my language. When he liked those, I remember I was like, damn, I like this guy. Like he's into my. Most people have no clue who
Wow.
they are,
Yeah.
So
I get that a lot too when I'm in the store. They'll the kids will come in and then they'll turn around and walk out, and their parents will stay in there till the kids are almost honking the horns out in the parking lot, having their parents come out. But they don't have a clue to the nostalgia of some of the things that are in there. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And it was funny because we had Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula action figures come in the store.
Oh, for
So
real?
that made me, yeah, yeah. We had the box action figures in the store, and I'm sitting there, and all I could think of was when Mark, you got to see this. You got to see. He's got the cereal things. So, all today, I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm thinking, of course, about you and doing the show tonight. And it was just how weird how that nostalgia factor is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah,
like you said, the young kids they just don't get it. They don't understand it. They'll never have that Saturday morning experience of watching all these commercials and cartoons
yeah.
and be excited to see all that. You know what I mean? They just
I'm
Actually
not
did
gonna
that.
lie, man. I watch it now.
Yeah.
There's YouTube. They have it'll
yep.
say Saturday morning, 1983. Click. I put it right on when I'm drawing. It's like I don't know what it is about that. I actually picked up. I have it right over there when we were at our show. Buck Rogers in the box from the guy that was at the booth across from me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to get that off you. And I had in mind how much if he told me, and he said less than I was thinking. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and really, it's going to serve no purpose other than to look back at me in the box. But it just makes you feel good to be surrounded by you. But obviously, you guys agree with your
Yeah.
Right.
setups. You
Oh
know,
yeah. I mean,
I was gonna say you got to see my stuff
yeah.
over to the side
It's
there.
I
I've got
mean,
a lightsaber. I do Legos. I love putting Legos together, and I put Star Wars Legos together. So I have this huge shelf just full. I've got what is it? That's Chewie. I've got C3PO. I've got all of the ships. I just put a Death Star together, and that took about 4 hours. And then I've got buckets that I put together from Legos. So that's what calms me down when I have time. I can just sit there and I just put Legos together while I'm watching TV. So I definitely understand when you say that, you sit there and you're drawing and stuff like that. That's what I do to relax is I just put Legos together.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's something about it. I think my dad's still he's in his 70s. He still does models and puzzles and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just I think there's a tranquility to it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Most
I
definitely.
I think there's a lot of similarities to when you were doing Legos as to when I'm drawing. It's like very similar, just like you're in kind of this like peaceful state, like this zone. You just time really doesn't. You look, you're like, oh, 3 hours has passed. How'd that happen?
Yep.
he was
That's pretty
watching
cool.
Thundar all morning.
Oh, Thundar the Barbarian, is that what he's talking about?
I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great. And I haven't drawn him yet, but man, that show is
Well,
ahead of its time right there.
all we do
Especially with Sun Sword, that would be fantastic.
at Yester Toys is we have I put the retro cartoons in the back, so that's anything from the 70s all the way up to like the 80s, and maybe a little bit of the 90s. But in the front, I'll either do the same or I'll do like a specialty thing. But every now and then, I get that hankering for Thundar or what was that other one? Um, oh God,
Herculoids?
Herculoids.
Yeah, they kind of they're
And
Herculoids
then
is
every now and
awesome
then
too.
Space Ghost will seep in there, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, but those were the I and Tubi has them. So you go to Tubi and Tubi will just keep playing it until you either cut the TV off, you know what I mean, or it'll get to a point where it'll say, "Are you still watching this?" or whatever, and it'll
I didn't
just keep
realize how
running.
much Tubi has. Honestly, I was like,
Yeah,
damn, this is free.
yeah.
I was going to say they just got a new channel on cable called Me Toon TV, where they just show tunes from the 70s, 80s. I don't think there's 90s, but definitely the 70s and 80s because they have the real Ghostbusters. I've been recording Marine Boy because it comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember being a kid watching Marine Boy, and I'm like, I love when he pulled his little boomerang out underwater and
I
threw
don't
it.
remember that one that well, Marine Boy.
Oh my
Marine
God.
Boy. He chewed gum so he could breathe underwater,
Oh wow, okay.
and his best friend was a mermaid. And
Oh,
they, it's Japanese anime, but it was just something that came on back in the day, and I absolutely loved that show. So I've been recording it every night at 2 o'clock so I can watch it during the day. So
this one cartoon was just on. I you might remember it. It was called Mighty Man and Yuck.
Yes.
I don't
You,
remember that
you
one.
remember that?
The doghouse.
Yeah, he was so ugly. He had a doghouse on his head. It was like a dog, and his superpower was literally like if you looked at him, he would like.
He took it
I'm
off,
like,
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
he took it
yeah,
off. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
do remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
cartoon.
yeah.
Wow.
I didn't remember it until it came on. I'm like, oh man, I remember this show. Yeah, so I might remember Marine Boy like if it came on.
Yeah.
That's why I like this like random lineups that people put up on there. It's like, oh my god, this is like some of them are from New York. That's where I grew up, so it'll have the same commercials and all that.
Oh
Um,
wow.
So that's kind of cool, when you see the same commercials and everything. But that's fun, yeah. I'm
Wow.
definitely going to check out your guys' shop for sure.
Dude, anytime you want to come on by,
Yeah,
come on by. We encourage everybody just to stop on by. It's not like we're trying to sell you anything. Come on by, walk around, get the feel of the store, watch some cartoons with me for a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
We have a ball there, and Jim always he wants everyone to feel welcome. He wants everyone to, it's not come in and here we're gonna shove something on you, buy something. It's
yeah. That's good.
take your time, walk around. You know what I mean? Ask us some questions about some toys, or talk about the cartoons that we got playing in the shop. You know what I mean? And it's been an amazing experience being there, um, learning from
Good.
him and Keel and some of the other guys and Rashad. It's been I've met a lot of great people. You know, people like yourselves, people that's worked in the con industry and all this other stuff. So I've learned a lot. And like I said, you can't buy that type of networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Jim helps promote the Cosmic Portal at every turn. He helped promote my book. You know what I mean? So it was like, wow. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. That.
um,
Yeah.
I love doing it. I love being there. I get to cut my own promos there in a toy store. I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So,
Us
but
creatives got to stick together. You got to be like.
definitely, man.
I mean, mostly creatives buy from creatives. But it's like a circle of life almost type thing.
Definitely.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why we always promote. You know what I mean? And I tell everybody, there's no strings. I just want to promote you, get you out there, and see what happens. You know what I mean? Because in the end, I've always wanted someone to, hey, check out this, check out Calibus Rand and the.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah. Of course.
yeah, it gets, I mean, there's some jealousy with certain people. You know what I mean? They see your
Yeah.
show, or they knock it, or they don't watch. You know what I mean? But then when they do something, they're like, "Hey, were you watching my show?" I'm like, "Were you watching mine?" You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
who watches mine. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Were you watching
Oh
mine?"
right.
Now you wanna, but
Yeah.
we found our little niche. We found our little niche. We're doing things. We're making our moves. We're on the con circuit now. And that scares me to death because now it's like, hey, you have to be here. We have to do this. And we've been
Yeah.
lucky, and we came out of our genre. I mean, especially me and Mark,
Yeah.
is, Star Wars, DC. Now we're back into Star Trek, and now we're doing a Renaissance fair and the horror stuff with Blood in the Water with Billy and his team. I'm telling you, man, I was like, I don't know, horror. That's not really what we do. Got there
Yeah.
and loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I cannot wait for the next thing because the cosplays were so great. The staff
Yeah.
was so great. You know,
Mhm.
then we got to meet people like you and some of the other artists and some of the other vendors. They remembered us from last year, and that was pretty cool. They were like, "Hey, next time bring the Gremlin." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. You were across from us." So it was really cool to finally, find that niche. And now we're just doing, like I said, we're doing the promotion things. We're going out, we're interviewing, we're putting him on the internet, and we just keep pushing it. So anytime you want to stop by Yester Toys, I'm there Monday through Saturday doing what I can do to push. I'm telling you, look, I push it hard, man, because I know it's all about the presence and the networking.
Yeah. Of
If
course.
you
Yeah.
don't get out there and show your face and keep that smile no matter how bad your day is going, because I had a celebrity Galaxy Quest me, and that just, it set me off. And I always say that you can't afford to do that. No
Yeah.
matter how bad your day is, when somebody walks through that door, I've got to, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For sure.
but it's nice when like people like you come in there, and then we all have our little language, and we see a cartoon and we just start talking about it, and we're
Yeah.
laughing, and so anytime you want to stop by
Yeah.
there, I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Anything
know,
that makes us feel young, right? I mean, that's the thing.
definitely.
Absolutely.
I
So tell
mean,
everybody where we can find you online again.
it's my I'm on Instagram, TikTok, I'm on Facebook, but my thing is at Fridgeworthy Art, but I put an underscore between each word.
Okay.
So basically, I don't. Most art people, when I say that, they know they get a chuckle out of that because they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's like the name stems from like when we're young. All of us probably can relate to this, but when you're young and like you do some drawing, we all draw at some point, and then your mom or dad is like, "Oh, that's going on the fridge," and you're like, "Oh, it must be legit." Then it's like that feeling. I'm like, okay, you know. So that's where I got the name from. It kind of makes me, happy to think about that. And That's what I was enjoying at a lot of the shows with the younger people, especially, or just people that like to draw and ask you about art tips and that kind of stuff, and that kind of thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at work and the live goes off. Yeah, every day when I try. At least I try. I mean, lately it's been a little bit harder and harder because as soon as I get there, there's somebody at that door, and I'm like, hey, I need a couple
I'll have to
minutes
hook
to.
up with you guys. Maybe I
Yeah.
could hook up with you guys sometime at the Yester Toys and do a little setup or something.
Yeah, we do a springtime bazaar too, man, where you can come out, set up in the parking lot,
Yeah, I'll do something with
and
you
do
guys.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
'cause I've done that at
So
comic shop before and stuff like that. Whatever. I
yeah,
actually enjoy it. I mean, that's where I go to places like that just for
and do that.
yeah,
Oh
Okay.
just
man,
it makes me happy to go. You know what I mean? So if you saw the stuff in my room and in my house, you'd be like, even my wife buys me stuff from like old toy places like Scooby Doo
yeah,
Van and things like that, and like
Yeah.
um, I don't know, just something like you guys know it. It's like that
oh yeah,
nostalgia.
Oh yes.
That's why Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is crazy right now because like a generation basically 10 years younger than me, like my brother's age, they all love the Turtles, He Man. Like they're stuck
yeah,
for that. Even though I was a little older when those really popped off, but I could see it. It's like everybody's the same, and their kids are like going through it, so you get your kids into it,
yes,
and it's just a circle of life, kind of like that,
So true.
That but unfortunately, it's kind of fading, because there you we could talk about shows when we were younger, and there's a really good chance that 80% of the shows we talk about we're going to know.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
now there's so much variety now, and I feel like people that are our age, in the future, they might not have heard of 80% of them, because there's
no,
just so much variety. We had like 13 channels on the dial, and like 9 of them had something,
True.
yeah,
you know.
Yep.
yeah.
So
It definitely was a different time. Like I said, we see them all the time, man. They come in with, they're on their phones. They'll turn around, go out to the car, and their dads and sometimes even their moms will sit there in the store for like 45 minutes, and they're
that's
like,
so funny.
I
It's
gotta,
not supposed to
I
work
gotta
that
go.
way,
The kid
but
is still out there, and but
yeah,
it's a crazy world. You know what I mean? But if you like what you like, you gotta get it. Get out there and get your stuff, no matter where you are. Especially, that stuff that brings you happiness. As I
well,
look around this room,
what can I do to help you guys, promote you guys a little bit? Are you on TikTok or anything, or
oh yeah, we're on TikTok.
Yeah.
okay?
We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. We're going back to Spotify, and I think we're going to do that once we hit the Bazaar. But that takes me downloading it,
Oh, okay.
putting it to audio, and then throwing it on audio. But yeah, man, pretty much word of mouth. Just hey, check out the Cosmic Portal Salvage Yard. They're on Facebook. I mean, they're on
YouTube.
YouTube, and because like
Yeah,
all we're trying to do is help promote. You know what I mean? We try to stay away from political stuff. You know what I mean? We just want to do
yeah,
some stuff and keep that kind of good. But sometimes, East Coast Alliance, they were kind of doing something a little political, but I kind of feel that it was important enough. If this man wanted to stay in his cosplay to
hmm,
do that, I felt it was important enough to go ahead and to share it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Primarily, we just want to have a good time. We want to promote good stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And just keep it out there and keep positivity out there because we use our fandom to escape all of that.
Yes.
You know what I
A
mean?
100%. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
TikTok's like my one that picked up pretty good for me. I don't know why, but I just follow art people and I support. I'll go on and
yeah.
it's like my whole thing is basically people that are other artists of all different skills. If I click on your profile and you have art at all, even if the drawings with a crayon, I'll follow back. Like that's pretty much.
That's cool.
But if
Man,
it's
that's
like some
great,
kind of
man.
weird, if it's some kind of weird thing on there, and I'm like, nah. But that's where I get, honestly, like I get so many questions on TikTok, like people, because I was doing like process videos and stuff. Like some of the drawings I have, I actually could I'll mount my camera above the drawing board.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
don't think I showed you guys that, but like some of them I had, you can scan the code and it'll actually show. It doesn't show my face, it shows just the drawing. Some people are into that.
Oh yeah.
And I actually like looking back at them because, as you know, when you're doing Legos and things like that, like you get into like a Zen state, you're not even sure what happened. You just know it's done. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So
Because I think about when I'm sitting there with the bags, I separate the pieces, and then I just go to work doing it, and I'm like, oh, it's over, just to make sure I'm completely done with it. And now I got to figure out where I'm going to put it at. So
yeah, that's the only thing about that hobby. It
yeah,
takes room. It requires.
it's
I
a
just
lot
stack
of,
them.
yeah,
I
you
just
just
stack them up. Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing about that hobby for sure. And they're delicate. You can't be.
oh yeah, oh god,
Yeah,
my Millennium Falcon, the cockpit came off one day, and I'm like, oh. And then my goddaughter wants to play with the minifigures. She'll stand in the corner because it's on a shelf, and she just tries to play with the minifigure. I'm like, don't touch that. But no, I'll let
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
figures. But
Are you married?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. What's the spouse think of this hobby?
she buys most of it for me, so
Yeah,
I don't.
Nice, perfect. That's a beautiful, perfect wife. Perfect wife. That's it. Yeah.
She says
I
that
have like a room I hide in, like I have my own little room I hide in, and it's surrounded by all my. It may have been called junk or other words before, but it makes me feel good. So,
oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and they don't
Yeah,
realize. I mean, she realized like it's good for our health.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's good for our
Keeps
health.
it sane. Yeah.
I think so. Really.
Yeah, just sit there. I can relax. Don't have to think
Yeah.
about anything at all, and just put the pieces
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. That's how drawing is. It's very like I don't need a therapist. I just do that, and it's
Yeah,
just very chill. I think anyone that can do hobbies like that, we're blessed because not everyone has a hobby like that they
true.
can. It doesn't have to be art. It could be writing. It could be doing Legos. It could be some people do embroidery and cross stitch and all these type things and
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mark, you want to take us out?
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thank Tom for the amazing artwork he's shown.
Yes.
Like I said,
thank
follow
you guys.
on. What is it? You said the fridge worthy art.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I have
check.
underscore. It's like yeah. If you guys want to check it out, if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, I actually follow him on TikTok. So by all means, check it out. And I think we're going to be back. I know Sunday we're going to be doing the blurs, but please come back and see us then. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Anytime, man.